Greetings to our general public outside here. You welcome to the conversation. This is a platform meant to inspire our current generation of young people to discuss social issues, moral, economic, and political issues affecting their lives, and then discuss some of the ways forward. Today's edition, which happens to be our first edition, we are in the residence of a senior Gambian immigration officer in person of Anne-Therese. We're going to have a conversation with her tonight where she's going to afford us the opportunity to speak with her on various issues in this country, starting with her very private life. Can you quickly talk to the audience? Who is Anne-Therese Mendy?
Thank you very much, Mikel Howard. And I welcome you all into my premises today to share the ideas that I have been longing for. Because when I sit here sometimes, or when I analyze what is going around within myself as a mentor, as a leader, that I am already to say with the Gambia Immigration Department, sometimes I feel I have something to share with the young generation. By virtue of, my name is Anne-Therese Mendy, commonly known as Fatima ATM Jaune at the Gambia Immigration Department. The name Fatima is given to me based on marital grounds, but everybody knows me to be Anne-Therese Mendy. Okay.
Thank you very much for that wonderful brief introduction of your very self. Now, quickly, why growing up as a child in the conservative Gambian environment? Tell us some of the challenges you face as a young girl growing up.
Oh, thank you very much. It is even a revival for me to relate a story of my life. First of all, I would say I am a strong woman because I'm a lone child, and I grew up independently with the guidance of my well-wishers. Life was very challenging for me, but all the same, I do ask myself, if others can do, why not me? And I don't believe in saying I don't have, that's why I won't do. I believe I have the potentials, the natural ability to do, then I will do with the keen observation of those ahead of me that I will admire to be what they are. So when I was young, I was battling with the challenges of life. Sometimes I sit and cry and ask myself, why me? Because when I look around, I don't see any parent. And being a lone child, I don't have a sister, I don't have a brother. But all I do is, I will look up to the people that are friendly to me. As I would say, I'm a soft seeker. Anyone that shows me love and passion and compassion, I bestowed myself to the person. And that is how I grew up to be somebody very wise and vigilant in the society. And I thank God for the kind of mom I've got. She will always tell me, take your education seriously. Take up to your education. You don't have anyone beside you, but if you respect your education, you will stand firm like any other person, which I did. And today I thank God. Sometimes others will look at me, they thought I was going to be a failure because I got a child immediately after high school. Yeah, when I was a teenage. It was challenging, but immediately my child grew up to the age of 1 year, 6 months. I went to the Gambia College. I started an educational career where I grew up maturing to what I want to be. So I did not allow life to drift me away from the potential that God has destined for me. Because I believe that education is a passion that I've inculcated in me. And I grew up along the lane of education. I've been learning through my youthful life from high school, college as a primary school teacher, and then higher teacher certificate, and then to the to the university, and finally I'm with the Gambia Immigration Department. That's it.
Thank you very much for that very wonderful deliberation. I feel very inspired in my spirit, and there was a point in time that I felt a bit emotional when you spoke about how your mom was very, very focused in ensuring that she inculcated the habits of discipline and determination inside of you as a young person growing up. It's very beautiful to have heard that from you. Your audience will want to know how did you break the deadlock to become the first female in the Gambian Immigration Authority or department to have bashed a first degree? Did you see that coming? Where does it come from?
Yeah, thank you very much. When I was at the Gambia College, I used to admire immigration because I'm a kind of person that admire standards and decency.
Okay.
I normally see some immigration officers who are very decent in their uniform, and I admire them. And then I said to myself, I would love to be an immigration officer, but first of all, I would like to be well educated before I become an immigration officer.
Okay. Why did you think that education was the most important prerequisite of forming part of the immigration authority? Because when you look around, I mean, the record is quite too shown here, where you're the first person to have bashed a first degree. So the story has been quite too different in the past, where somebody leaves the walls of high school can have that opportunity to get into the immigration department. Somebody can be a grade 9 dropout and still have that opportunity to get in the department of immigration. But why do you think that it was quite too convenient or quite too important to have at least bashed a first degree before joining the Gambia Immigration Department? Where does that come from?
Thank you very much. That will refer me back to the mandates of the Gambia Immigration. As an immigration officer, we deal with movement, and we are dealing with internationally and national issues. So, as an immigration officer, the reason why I felt I should be very much educated, because I really want to deliver. I don't just want to go into the job and be recognized in uniform and just to be seen as I am an immigration officer, but I really want to deliver both nationally and internationally. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much for that. You're listening to Madam Mendoza, Anne-Therese Mendoza. That's a senior immigration officer in the Gambian Immigration Department. And we're right here in her residence on the platform called The Conversation, where we have an opportunity to move to you, to leave the studio, move in your homes, in your community, in the streets, and talk to people, listen to the plight, listen to what happens to their individual lives, and see some of the growing challenges in our societies and find remedies to them. So we talked to her today, and we've spoken about her private life. We've spoken about how she bashed her first degree in the Gambian Immigration Department. And right now, the next question says, looking at the environment where the quest for higher education, especially for the girl child, is quite too dominant, because in a conservative Gambian environments where the females are thought to stay at home, read possibly the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and get set, be taught about matrimonial values and get married tomorrow. What are your thoughts about that? Such kind of feeble understanding of the female child to just stay home and get set and all that. What's your thought about that? That low quest of higher education for the girl child?
Well, regarding that matter, sometimes it even saddened me myself, as I would say. I always lament when I go to work, whether on parade, in my office. I behave like a counselor and a mentor to the female at work, because I believe we are more than just being at home. We can be at home and yet be at work, because I believe in one thing. When the mind is level, there is nothing that you cannot work out in life. What I mean by that is, when a woman is well educated and she is a leader per se, I think we lead along the lane with discipline and diplomacy. But when the society believes that a woman could only get maybe a minimal education and get a husband and take care of the family, as they believe a woman's place is the home, that is what is causing havoc. Because most of the marriages, a man nowadays wouldn't look at a woman who cannot share some ideas to build up the family. It's not only the mating and the cooking at home and whatever. When a man is from work and a woman is from work, when they come back home, they all have equal roles to play at home. There must be companionship. And where there is companionship in any marital life, there is bound to be peace. But when the man thinks higher than the woman, sometimes the man doesn't know what to do at home because he cannot share one or two ideas that will help build the family up. A man might be challenged at work, but if he doesn't have a woman who is able to say, look, don't you think when we do it this way, we will have the best outcome like this? So if a man is challenged at work and doesn't have a comfort zone at home to say, well, I will share something with my wife so that I will know how to go out and face the public again, that man is always at a threat at his workplace. What I mean by at a threat is he is never at rest. He battles with his peace of mind. And that is what leads our society to challenging factors that will even bring them to corruption. And even not even corruption on monetary base, but even their lives. What I mean by corruption of their lives is they won't focus on how to build up their family, but they have external relationship where they admire even the woman they are working with at the office compared to the woman they live at home. Okay. Yeah.
So how would you, thank you for that response. So how would you reconcile this from a religious point of view where the lady is supposed to be very submissive at home, especially from an Islamic point of view? It's like the man has a 75% edge in the home in terms of inheritance and all that. So how do you reconcile that with the fact that you've been so social scientific here for a state of equilibrium, a balance between a man and a woman at home? How do you reconcile that too?
Now, for that situation, it's like when we talk about Lenehan, when a man has the upper hand to say he's a household, he picked up a wife and said, this is the one I love. Someone you love is someone you cherish. And when you cherish something, you must build it up. So that is where companionship would come. When a man helps to build a woman to the level of his liking in his marital life, that is what helps. And when we bring religion for that matter, religion is a disciplinary entity. What I mean by being a disciplinary entity, if you understand the teachings of religion, it has to do with what? Caring, passion, love, being compassionate, and fearing to hurt the Creator. Because when you look low upon your woman, you shun down her pride, then it's like you don't respect what the Creator has given to you. Because that woman there forms part of you. The woman there is your comfort zone at the marital life.
Sure.
In home.
I can't agree more.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the voice of Anne-Therese Mendoza, a senior immigration officer in this country, the Gambia, and we sit her right in her residence. She's been very, very positively responsive to each of the questions that have been posed to her, and we can't agree more to most of these points she delivered. Under the sound of our voice, this is the platform called The Conversation, where we move in your homes and communities, in the streets, and talk to you, to listen to your plight. We do not only have to sit in the studio and just speak and you hear our voices, we equally have to move into your home. So today, like I says, we are in the home of Anne-Therese Mendoza, our own host today, should I say, guest? How should I put it? Who should be welcoming the next person here? Should you be welcoming me in your home today, or I should be welcoming you?
I should be welcoming you.
Yeah, that's the best way forward. So, what are some of the key possibilities of getting our sisters from the state of dormancy, from that elementary understanding that I belong in the kitchen, I belong in the bedroom and just bear children for my husband, and that's the best way forward? How do we get that? How would we erase that kind of feeble mentality and make them better kind of people, become very responsible and responsive in the developmental progress of their respective communities, by extension their countries?
Thank you very much. That is another interesting part of life, for the life of a female child. One thing I could say here is, as a woman, you first of all have to actualize yourself.
How do you mean by that?
Self-actualization.
Okay.
When you look at yourself, we have mirrors at home. We think maybe those mirrors are just for makeups and whatever. No. I see the mirrors to be the first advisor. When you stand before the mirror, you see your whole being. You look at yourself. You justify a lot of things. You see how beautiful, or if something is lacking, you add it up there. Now, ask yourself, if I'm going out in an odd manner, how would people look at me? That's why you adjust yourself to look good. It's the same way. If you're a woman, you have the potentials. Some women are much intelligent than men. And when they realize who they are, and not just to look at their physical appearance, sometimes they are baffled by their physical appearance. When you look at yourself and you feel, well, I'm beautiful, a man can pick me up, a rich man, and get me up as a wife, and then give me everything at home, fine, that could be. But I believe in one thing. The maintenance and sustainability in human life is very meager. Because of the environment. Life changes. Situations will battle with the man. If the man is very rich today, he gives you everything and says, sit at home, don't work. Fine, you're happy, you're given a car to ride, you're given everything. But ask yourself, where is life taking me as an individual? What is your potential as an individual to say, what is expected of me in life? You have a role to play in your life. Life must have a purpose. Not to say you are only going to be a belonging to someone. If you are a belonging, when you grow older, you'll be shone down. If you are a belonging, if you are not, potential in whatever, or if the man is seeing you to be a different person as to whom he was seeing, you are no more important to him. Sorry to say, what I mean by not being important is a woman's lifespan is very short. You can be beautiful today, and tomorrow, after you started having children, 1, 2, 3, your beauty fades. If the man admires your beauty and get married to you and feel happy with you, being proud of you in the society, just to get you in the car, and then he rides with you, but ask yourself, when that is no more, who am I? Were you built up at school just to be a dependent or a liability to somebody? So to help the girls, I would say, I think we need moral support. Okay. Sometimes women would say we need gender equity and gender equality.
We hear that every time.
That is it. It is not bad to have that, but let us ask ourselves, what are we doing to qualify the advocate? Women should ask themselves. It doesn't mean that what a man can do, a woman can do, as people misconcept the equality, but it is saying, let us be recognized at workplaces. Let men incorporate women into leadership. So, to help my fellow women folk, I am advising to say, let us stand firm to say, we are able to do, our intellectual ability will help us perform, yet still we respect our marital lives. Thank you.
Thank you so dearly much. You listen to her very viable points she has labeled. I am learning a lot today. If you aren't picking anything, I'm picking a lot tonight. I think it's a brilliant opportunity for you to pick up something tonight from Madam Anne-Therese Mendoza. Cleverly, having badged a first degree in English language, should I say?
In French.
And in French. What was the prerequisite for the rank that you have today as Assistant Superintendent of the Immigration Authority? What was the prerequisite? What was the merit procedures you passed through? And how was this welcomed by fellow females in the Department of Immigration, knowing that you are the first female in this country to have badged a first degree in the Gambia Immigration Department?
Thank you very much. This is also something that is remarkable in my life. When I was training at the Gambia Immigration Department Training School, my name was louder than my image.
Wow.
Yes. When they heard of Anne-Therese Mendy or Fatima ATM Jaune, the first graduate in the Gambia Immigration Department since inception, they thought maybe when they see me, I am going to be the pompous type. But I said to myself, I'm not there to brag, but I'm there to lead. And being a leader is not just the portfolio, but a quality of behavior that you have that is seen in no one, but that you utilize to develop others. That is what we mean by leadership. As a leader, you need not be recognized what? Through what? Your name, carrying a great name with less value, I would say. But as a leader, you should first of all manifest the qualities. Your behavior.
That means leadership is not about position, but the accomplishment of results.
Yes.
Not just great name with less value. I love that. Continue.
Okay. Yeah. So when I came to the Gambia Immigration Department, I came with a lot of people. My batch were 398, I would say, almost 400.
That's a huge number.
Yeah.
For a concise country.
Yes.
New recruits.
Yeah. It is the highest batch. So being the first female graduate, I was motivated. And I thank the department for that. I was a junior officer for only a month. I passed out, I trained for 8 months, passed out on the 2nd of February 2016. On the 8th of February, I assumed office as a junior officer at Brusubi Station. And then March, I was promoted to a cadet. So I've been a junior officer for only a month.
What were your responsibilities as a cadet?
Well, I do tell them, being a cadet is like you are the prefect. Because you are there to learn. You owe every unit that you are sent to an obligation to be the servant. And that is how I learned the job. I faced challenges because others would smile at me, yet they don't appreciate, because they would say they've been long in the job, and we come with our long papers, as the serviceman would say, book long, and we are able to be promoted to higher ranks. But I do say, I'm not there to challenge, and I'm not there to look bad. All I need to do is I need to motivate them. And that is the desire that is still in me. I continue motivating. And that is why I believe I'm a leader. I'm not after the rank. I'm not being pompous out of the rank, but I believe I still need to boost the morals of all female officers to achieve to my level.
Clever point. I still need to boost the morale of all female immigration officers at my level. Fine motivation. You listen to the voice of Anne-Therese Mendoza, a senior officer in the Gambian Immigration Department, and we are in her residence tonight. One final question before I leave. What's your final message to young females outside here who have very great potential, but no way out, no sponsor, no supporters, and they feel that meeting a male counterpart to seek assistance most time results them to compromise in the pride and all that? What's your advice for them, and what's the best way forward?
Thank you very much, Mikel. That is also another interesting point regarding the life of a girl child. As a woman, we are attracted to men, and men are attracted to us. Wherever we meet, there is bound to be the force of attraction. That is the friction. Unlike poles will attract, and like poles will repel. When women are together, they don't realize what is the benefit of a woman. All they see is how they look, their looks. But when they are with men, that's the time they try to prove that they need recognition. Recognition in the aspect of what? Just physical appearance. And that is what is shunning down the pride of women. Because if you are working in an office per se, and then you think you are very beautiful, you're not trying to linger behind the men to say, let us do, or how are you doing this? But you think you can always sit there, admiring yourself, trying to call the attention of the man so that he will recognize you and then try to give you something higher than what you are because of your beauty. And that is what is disturbing the women at workplaces. Sometimes they don't understand that they're even better than what they think they are. because they are relaxing. They are just anticipating the cautioning of the man.
The material benefit they can get out of the beauty and all that. You listen to our beautiful sister here, the senior immigration officer. I keep repeating her name for the benefit of our audience who just going to be turning to the video at the end of the day. She is Anne-Therese Mendoza, senior immigration officer of the Gambian Immigration Department. We have been in conversation with her. She's laid a very viable point. She spoke about the need for the female to discipline herself and then have some qualities that when you enter the life of a man, he does not only look at you as an object, but he feels that you are part and parcel of him and you are a partner to be able to add your own contribution to his life, to your society, by extension, your country. It's a nice experience being with you today. Thank you very much. Final statement.
You're welcome. And I'm also proud, and I believe it will not stop from this. I think I owe you much. Maybe today I'm not very prepared, but I think I owe you much about development regarding the girl child.
Thank you so dearly much. We are honored to be in your residence today, and thank you for doing justice to all of our questions. Catch us next week on Monday as we have another edition of this wonderful program called The Conversation, wherein we move to you in your respective communities, your homes, in the streets, and listen to your plight. Try to listen to your life stories and some of the challenges you face and some of the best way forward to make not only the Gambia, but Africa and our globalized society the better type that we can live in peace and harmony and become so strengthening in the actualization of our respective dream. It's been Thony Mikel Howard, your humble presenter. Thank you and bye-bye.